Will S. Green was a major part of creating the opportunity for irrigation in the Sacramento Valley, and he spent decades trying to promote and create an irrigation system. He had far-reaching vision, and this award is something that can be presented to people who are looking at the big picture.
You know, as I look back at the history of Will S. Green Award winners, Ed fits right in, right? They were, those men and women that have won this award in the past were dedicated to irrigating lands for the betterment of the people. And that's really the story of Ed Horton.
I'm so excited that Ed has been chosen by NCWA for the Will S. Green Award, because Ed has worked tirelessly to make sure that we all understand the big picture. You know, sometimes he's that quiet person in the back of the room that you don't notice other than his stature, but he's always listening, and he's always making sure that we understand what's happening on the Sac River system as we look at management on the American River system. And when you look at the interplay with the Bear Yuba, he's there to help us find constructive solutions to work in partnership.
When it's time for him to get engaged, he's fierce. He's fierce, and he remembers exactly what people said, how they said it, when they said it, and why they said it.
As long as I can remember, Ed was connected to water policy, so I can't imagine there's anybody who knows anything more about water dynamics and policy and players here locally in Placer County for sure.
Persistent, diligent. I mean, all those things fit Ed, and I think you've just seen that in the way the Placer County Water Agency has really advanced, I think, one of the best water systems in the state, and they now have a stellar organization, and I think a lot of that can be attributed to Ed's influence.
Ed has pretty much spent his whole lifetime dedicating his career towards water and Placer County.
I don't want to think where water would be without Ed and the decades of dedicated service he's put into water.
We would be in a much different place if Ed Horton hadn't been involved with Placer County Water Agency since our inception.
If you have farmland and don't have any water, you don't have a farm. And Ed made that connection at the get-go. There was never even a doubt how important that water was to the farming ag community. Never a doubt in his mind, not for 1 second.
The best way to describe Ed Horton is that he's a large man with a large presence. He's one of those people that when he walks into a room, everyone already knows a little bit about him.
When you look in the dictionary under the word gentleman, I think Ed Horton's name is there.
Putting the pieces of the puzzle together so he can provide the right guidance as we look at how we merge our M&A and our ag in water in California.
I could think back at different times with meetings, and you know, like I said, he's just one of those people you'd want to go and sit next to, you know, and talk to, you know, sit there during the meeting and chat, or he'll bring up good points or histories.
Very well intended, very pleasant, easy to work with and talk to, even if you have a disagreement or a difference in perspective, or if he's maybe trying to share a difference of perspective with you.
You know, he greets me with a handshake and how you doing? And then he gets down to business, and I just love it.
Ed has a knack for being able to get people with different interests to come together.
Ed Horton does a lot of behind-the-scenes work before he ever shows up for anything. He's always richly informed. He always knows exactly what's going on and why.
He always ties the past to the present to the future as we're looking forward to protect ag in the North State.
Ed has been born and raised in Placer County and resided here and is very well known within the community.
To not only have access to Ed, but all of that family history, you know, on both sides of his family is quite something. It's literally a treasure.
From where I sit, I just see his presence looming much larger over the entire Sacramento Valley and the whole state. He just really has exuded all kinds of confidence in people. He's built trust among agencies. He's an amazing shuttle diplomat.
There is absolutely no one more deserving than Ed Horton to be given this award, this water award.
Water is the lifeblood of agriculture, and Ed has dedicated his life to delivering that water to the people who farm and ranch in Placer County. And it's people like Ed that are the reason we have agriculture in Placer County.
There's no one that I can think of that has spent as much time for as long a period with such intensity and energy on that particular issue as Ed. There is really not an equal to that.
We should be naming a dam after him.
He doesn't have to go to NCWA events, every other week, but he does. He doesn't have to go to the Sites Reservoir Joint Powers Authority meetings, but he does because he knows that Northern California is a special place. Placer is part of what makes Northern California a special place, and he cares deeply about making sure that this region and this part of our state remains the sort of bastion of stewardship when it comes to agriculture in the state of California.
Why not name a road Horton Road? Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Much like the founder of this award, he's dedicated his career, and water is his passion.
I think when you look at somebody who truly has devoted their lifetime to the advancement of water supplies and irrigation and regional, sustainability, Ed he's dedicated his whole lifetime to that. And it's just hard to picture there's anybody that's dedicated more of their life to water than Ed Horton. And I think for that reason, he's just so deserving of the Will S. Green Award.